Coach, looking at year to year, kind of more, how much do you adapt off of your personnel? You said you had, what, 98% of your
Yes,
players coming
yes,
back?
yes.
How much does that vary from year to year? Or are you more of a, hey, I have my system, I'll plug and play and just find the most talented guys out there that I can?
Well, as you heard me say earlier, I alluded to, I transferred to a 3-4 from a 4-2-5 with these high-powered offenses and different things. Now you got to get more athletic guys on the field because you got RPO on the second level, RPO on the third level, and it's almost like you got to have guys that can be able to play the run. At one point in time, you was looking for this big burly linebacker that could really stuff the hole. Now you're looking for a guy that can sink and get into cover two, probably play the hole in cover three, get to the number three receiver if they're in trips. It's a lot of things that you're looking for differently. Um, I think that the selling point for any program is how well you adjust. I think and Nick Saban happens to be one of my favorite coaches. I've always admired what he does. He was probably one of the oldest coaches that learned how to adjust. When he went in and changed his offense, he was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. When football changed, he changed. When he brought Lane Kiffin in, even though it was probably the struggle of the world to see the ball slung around all the way around, but he adjusted and he changed. When then he got Sark. Sark was the same way. Those guys slung the ball around. So he had to change his defense because he understood that the game was evolving. It's now becoming what me and Coach Williams would say, basketball on grass now, because these high scoring games are coming. And now people want to watch football, but they don't want to watch slow football. They want to see people scoring touchdowns and celebrating and dancing. So defenses had to catch up. So now the type of kid you're looking for, you had a guy that was 6'5", 280, run a 4.5. Come on now. I mean, the overall athletic ability of a kid now has changed tremendously.
Yeah.
It's going off of that. This is an opinion that I've had for a little while now, but you're a lot closer to it than me, so I want to get yours. I feel like that a lot of these kids in high school have gone. If you're about the size of a receiver or a corner and you're pretty athletic, you automatically go to the receiver side of the ball, and that's why in the draft every year, I mean, it's a dime a dozen for these receivers, aside from the Jamar Chases and Justin Jeffersons. And then in the trenches, if you're pretty athletic and about the size of a lineman, you go on the defensive side as an edge rusher, and that's why there's an offensive line shortage for nearly everyone right now. Is that something you agree with, or is that something that you see at the high school level?
Well, I think America has made it uncool to be fat. So, like, no, if you see my linemen, they don't look like linemen. They're 6'5". They may be 300, but they look like they're just tall, slender, built guys. And offensive lineman is probably the harder skill technique to teach now because a lot of it's about track running and being powerful. And if you can't keep and maintain your weight, then that becomes an issue. And then when you got a guy, if he's too big, and you got a guy that's running a 4.5 at 270, or linebackers playing the outside edge, and that tackle got to kick to try to catch up with him, that becomes an issue for any team. I see it every day at practice when Kerry goes against two of my best linemen. They have to struggle every day, and they got to be on their horses because it seems like they never stop. And nowadays, when you was talking about the retention piece, I failed to mention that it becomes hard to retain a kid now because of the transfer portal. Everybody's looking for the best next place. If I end up number two, you can't shop for 1 year. You only building a team for a season. It's almost become like coaching an arena team or coaching a pro football team. You're going to have gaps to fill in. After spring ball, there's going to be some guys that are identified that I'm number 3 on the depth chart or I'm number 2, and especially at the quarterback spot, running back spot, receiver spot. Mostly old linemen will stay in place. If they got a spot or they number 2, they going to stay. But it's your skill guys that want to go find and look for a better home because nobody wants to sit on the bench. It's not cool. They can't handle failure like that.
Yeah.
The transfer portal, it's not going anywhere, unfortunately. But I just wish there was like a window, right? Like the trade deadline with, you have a trade deadline, you can't do anything until the league new year in March. Like, man, just have a window where, hey, maybe in the first couple weeks of the season, hey, this team isn't for me. I'll jump in the transfer portal. But man, we have guys like, saying right before their bowl game, hey, after the bowl, I'm gonna trans. Like, it's just no way to do football.
Well, I think it's gonna happen. Everything was so new. I think Coach Saban warned us. He had an interview where he told us we're opening up college free agency right now.
Yeah,
So with
yeah.
that being said, we gotta mastermind a way of how to control it. We're facing some times now where the Power Fives can kind of control everything that go on. If you notice, they don't say NCAA, football championship. It say the college football championship because the Power Fives are controlling everything that's going on. So they could break away from their institutions and have a league of their own, and would really hurt small college football and things of that nature there. So now we just kind of have to play with it and see how it goes. And I'm sure there's meetings on top of meetings behind closed doors to figure out how to come up with a way to slow it down, to make it where it's not a you can just go steal my running back off my team, and it's just open free recruiting now. I mean, I'm thinking I got him, and here comes June, and I don't have him no more. And it's kind of like the subdivisions are struggling because if somebody lose their quarterback and there's a great one at subdivision and they offer him a full scholarship, he's going to be he wants to play. Who does not want to play big time college football? So
Right.
now if the FBS loses, Division two start losing. So if Division two got a great quarterback down there and the FCS want him, they're gonna go get him. So now Division three get a great quarterback and Division two gonna be robbing them. So it's kind of like gonna be a cherry picking thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, it looks that way for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool. I just got my last thing, Coach. We're gonna try to rush you out of here, but I know you're a quarterback guy, man. So I wanted to see what you thought. I got to tell you, man. I don't, I like Aquil Glass. I think Aquil Glass is the cream of the crop, and is that number one guy of HBCU QB prospects. But I don't believe, like a lot of people believe, that there's a big gap between him and some of these other guys that would be on that list. So just, I'm a really big Jet Duffy fan. I mean, and if you asking me to put a grade on it, the grade that I give a quill is probably not going to be very much, but a tenth of a point higher than where I'm at with Jet Duffy. So got to ask you what you think about these. You don't have to go through the whole list, but who are the guys you think stand out that should get a shot?
I'm gonna get the top two: Akil Glass and Jet Duffy. Jet Duffy is number one in my book as well. The
Mm-hmm.
difference with Akil Glass, I don't think he's mobile as you would like for him to be. Jet Duffy got the whole package. He could play for me any day, and I think he's
Yeah.
very well could play for anybody any day.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they really look at him in the way the new modern quarterback for NFL and the way they having to adjust because of the type of athletes that are coming out, Akil Glass will fade away soon because you can't protect him for only so long. I told you they're getting fast. They're getting faster. They're getting faster, and people are coming at you, and they're playing more man to man than ever. Jet Duffy, you're going to have to control him in the pocket, and he got an arm. He can sling that thing, and he puts it on a dime.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right, Coach. And me personally, I think the background. If you compare the backgrounds, I mean, Jet Duffy was an FBS kid, man. Right?
No doubt about it.
Yeah, Texas High School Player of the Year. So I just believe that people are underestimating him. And in a lot of my thoughts, I think Aquil, and I try to toe the line. I don't want to downgrade Aquil because he can play, but he also plays in a very, very pass friendly offense. I mean, they do a lot of good concepts coming with Connell Maynard being a former arena guy passing the ball, and I just think he's in a really good system. Jet Duffy in that same system, we might be talking about him all the time, right?
I think so too. I think that you hit it spot on. I think both of them has a space in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL world. It's
Yep.
just who gets them and how they use them.
Mm-hmm.
But Jet Duffy could have a long lasting career. I think if Jet Duffy decides to go play at Cincinnati or somewhere else, Jet Duffy would be conversated about a lot more.
Yeah.
But because he decided to go to Hampton, they downgrading and downplaying where he's at, or maybe I don't know who evaluating people, but I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
all know that there's a lot of failure when it comes to evaluation. Everybody doesn't see it the way everybody sees it, but at the end of the day, I'm with you, Coach Williams, all the way. If I had to pick and I wanted a quarterback, I'm going to go back to my Belichick mode. He's the type of guy that'll get a Jet Duffy and
Yeah.
sit him down for him a year or two to develop and falls into place. And I think that's where your HBCUs and your small college, I think Coach Belichick made a living out of Brown University and these little small schools
Yeah.
where you find guys that you be like, well, Wes Welker came from. Well, who is this guy? Where did he come from?
Yep.
And they makes him famous because he shops because he can buy them at a bargain there, and you don't overspend, and you can get 5 or 6 of those guys. If they become great, you win. However many Super Bowls you didn't won with those guys.
That's right. 100% right. I guess we're gonna get a chance here in a few weeks to see how this draft shakes out. But Coach, on the last minute, man. You know I love you to death like a brother, and I appreciate you coming in here. And I'm gonna get you back to your coaching staff. What you heading to a coaches meeting, or you got something with the team?
No. We got practice. We practice every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Gotcha.
we've already done everything for the day. We usually done by 3 o'clock. We just be, we'll have a few team meetings and different things of that nature there. We're all doing what you're doing right now. I was watching film, getting ready because we're going to scrimmage tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we got some things coming up this weekend that we need to do. So I'm excited about practice in the morning. Tonight I probably won't be able to sleep because this is the second scrimmage. I'm trying to see how well this new defense we put in versus our offense. Our offense has been pretty much ahead, and that's not a good thing. I always tell people that if the offense is beating your defense, it should be an even balance, some
Yeah.
stops here, things of that nature. That's how you know you got a good team. But if you're out there and you're just shredding your team, then to an individualized coach, if you just calling plays, you'll be like, yeah, we beat you today. But if you really coaching for the team concept, you're like, oh, we got a problem.
Yeah, that's right. 100%, Coach. Well, thank you for doing this, my man, and good luck with everything. And we'll be talking soon. And we just keep on rocking and rolling like we always do, bro.
That's right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks
You
for coming
too.
on, Coach.
Thank you,
You're
Coach.
welcome.